What's good, y'all? It's TJ the DJ. Y'all are tuning in to Pop Austin Media, and we got Hollywood Cobain in the building. What's good?
What's up?
How you feeling today?
I'm good. It's good to be back in Austin.
Nice. Where were you before this?
I just came back from LA.
Nice.
I was living out there for a little bit, and I'm back. So
Nice. How was it over there?
it was nice, I did a lot of work out there. Did a couple of things, like I started doing like interviews, like vlog interviews. I did one with Man,
Okay.
and
Dope.
like a couple of weeks after I did the interview with him, 50 Cent pulled him out for his he had like an Emmy party. He won for Power or whatever, so he pulled him out to perform their song. And then last month I was in the studio with Five Mics. He signed a T.I. Grand Hustle, so
Dope.
it was an interesting like studio session too, because he's really fast. So I'm sitting there like trying to keep up with him, and it went pretty nice. But yeah, it was a good experience. A lot of different things out there, just whatever I could get into, get my hands on.
So were you producing? Or are you producing?
I did everything. I was
Nice.
producing, engineering, whatever the job needed to be done. Like that's what I do. Like I do pretty much
Everything.
Yeah, I like working. So
I love that. Yeah. So what's your favorite thing to do? Do you have a favorite?
my favorite thing again is just being an artist, and then just kind of coming up with like the storyboards to the videos I'm trying to make, so I can put them out. The other thing right now I'm really focusing on is doing these vlog interviews. It's just like something more that like I've become more passionate about, because I've been knowing a lot of these artists over the years from the work that I've done as like an engineer and a producer, So like I know a lot of stories that most people don't know.
Yeah.
And so I like to ask some questions so that I can kind of share what I know, like, because it's funny shit, or it's like just shit that I just didn't know, And so I think it's like stuff that people would be interested to know, but they just don't know. So
Yeah, and a lot of that is usually relatable, so people love hearing
Yeah.
about shit that they going through too.
they're just like little 10-minute interviews, but you get a lot out of them,
And are you only doing interviews with artists, or is it just like open to everybody?
Well, I'm starting with that, but I'm also looking at like adding other aspects of it. Like for instance, I was in LA, for the All-Star weekend for baseball. I was living out there,
Dope.
and I ran into the old Dodgers manager, Reggie Smith.
Nice.
And I knew him as a kid. You know what I'm saying? Like he was always at our baseball games. Learned a lot from him like throughout the years. And I spoke with him, and we're gonna reconnect. He has like this thing in Encino, a little like baseball camp and stuff,
Okay, nice.
And so I'm gonna stop by. I want to start doing like athletes, and not just athletes, but like just anybody that I know that I think people would like some interesting stories from them.
Yeah.
That I know from them, and things that people don't know. I'm open to just the experiences,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because I definitely want to watch that. You never know what people's stories are and how much like you can be an artist and relate to an athlete. You can be like an average Joe, but relate to someone else, like 50 Cent.
Yeah.
So it's something really dope to see. So yeah, definitely keep up with that. I want to see it. So I saw that you changed your name. So what made you decide to do that?
What do you mean?
The change it from.
I saw you were you posted you were like gonna stop going with Cobain or something like that.
Oh no. Okay.
So it's
So,
just, tell us the story.
It's just so my artist name Hollywood Cobain, but for the longest time people been calling me Aries, like just my name, like just when they call me from what up Aries, like people don't call me Hollywood or something.
Yeah.
But, the ones that talk to me.
They want to call you just Aries, not Hollywood.
And man, y'all put me on the spot, but I'm gonna tell you. So my ex, she felt special because instead of calling me Aries like everyone else, she would try to call me Daniel, like my government name. And she's like, well, nobody called you Daniel. And I was like, you know what? Not everybody calls me Daniel. You ain't special.
Ooh, tell them.
That's the story. Like,
Yeah. Dang. Well, hey,
I was
sometimes
trying to
you
get
got
it
to
to
do what you got
myself,
to
but y'all
do.
got it out of me, so.
Yeah, nothing leaves Pop Austin, though, right? what happens here stays here. So what would you say is the difference between the Austin music scene and the Florida music scene, and I guess the LA too?
Well, I could say, okay, let's start with Florida, right? In Florida, everybody is just working and grinding on their own. Like, they're in the studio doing their own thing, other people in the studio doing their own thing, and then they just hit out all over Florida on their own. You know what I'm saying? There's not really like everybody goes like when I was in Orlando, artists would record at this one studio, Pro 192, and I worked there. You know, it was right down the street a little bit from where I lived, so I'd go down there and work out of there sometimes. You know, help them out, and you know, different artists would come through there, and then they take what they work and then they just hit the road throughout Florida. You know what I'm saying? There wasn't like a lot of shows where everybody just went to in that one city, and so artists knew of each other and passing by in the studio most like, you know, more than like in events, you know what I'm saying? But they were just focused. They knew they had to go to other cities and do their shit, you know?
So that's where they would like perform, just like not in the same spots.
In LA, it's like, it's so big that there's just so many different spots. And I don't really, how can I put it? Most of the work I've done out there has been with like established artists. So it's a bit different. Out there it's been mostly like in studio sessions.
Okay.
And so it's always constantly getting in studio sessions for me out there. So I don't know much about like independent artists doing shows out there. It's mainly, you know,
since it's like so big.
Yeah,
I can see that.
And then in Austin, you know, everybody just kind of knows everybody, and all the shows are in one spot. You know what I'm saying?
Big facts.
I don't know if like we just need to maybe get out more into other cities and you know, Houston, Dallas, San Antonio. I know some do that, but I think that maybe that's a bigger focus that we should look at is just, you know, Austin's right here, and it's great to have you know, shows all the time. Get your practice in, show love to your people, but don't forget, like, you know, you got all these big cities all around you. You know what I'm saying? And everybody got to go.
Yeah, and sometimes you get shown a lot of love in other places. You know, you could be an Austin artist and have a big fan base in Atlanta, and then you go out there and perform, and you have like a packed out venue.
Yeah.
So it's you gotta pick and choose and branch out. That's crazy. Yeah, that you gotta experience all that. You know, that's a good amount of knowledge, so you know how the vibes are in each spot.
I will say, like, here in Austin, the thing I like about it though is that everybody does know everybody. It's more connected, you know? There is more of, like, shoulders brushing, you know what I'm saying? Like, we get to know each other, we get to see each other. Maybe just a little too much sometimes, you know? And that's why you get, you know, sometimes you get that beef is because you see them too often and you get too close. But, you know, I actually like that. Yeah. Not the beef, but, you know, being able to.
Yeah, that little connection.
Yeah.
For real.
Oops,
yeah. Nice. So who are some dope artists in Florida that you were looking out at?
One of my favorite that I got to work with out there, Dave from the Grave.
Okay.
He used to record at a studio, and he's real dope.
Nice.
We had, I can't remember, I only recorded one session for her. I can't remember her name. She was really dope. Her and her brother, they both rap. They're part of a Kodak's group.
Okay.
What is that group they call?
Is it Sniper?
Yes.
Sniper Gang.
So they were part of his his group or whatever. And they were both really good.
Fire.
Like, she was the main artist from that came in to record, but when she brought her brother in the booth, that dude was cold. Like, he just went in there and freestyled, and it was cold as shit. I'm gonna say he actually, you know, and I'm very critical too. Like, I'm not gonna sit there and bullshit. Like, you know, when I say they're good,
they're good.
Yeah, they're good.
Nice. Do you have any Austin artists you looking at?
I mean, for the longest time, I'll say it off the top of my head, Stat One. He's always been, you know, my favorite from out here, from the very beginning. And like I told, like this is over like 10 years ago. From the first time I saw him perform, I was like, bro, like, we gotta link up and work. And we've only done that once in all this time. But like, you know, we both stay so busy that actually getting in the same studio together has always been hard because
y'all busy.
Trying to coordinate with their schedules has to coordinate when I'm in town.
Yeah.
And like, my friends had a joke, like, we have a group chat, and one of the guys was like, if someone wanted to kill so and so, we know where to find him at this spot. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're like, they find him at like, what's the fucking strip club? Like the Landing Strip, you know what I'm saying? And then they got to me.
That's where
like,
they're gonna be every night.
If someone wanted to find Aries, if someone wanted to kill Aries, they wouldn't actually know where to find him.
Yeah, because you just everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere and nowhere.
In fact, people don't even like. they'll run into me and they'll be like, "Oh, you still live in they'll say like Florida," and that'll be like 2 states ago. They're always like 2 states behind. I'm just like, no.
You're like, no, I'm back in Texas.
I moved
now.
from there to there, and then I'm back here now.
You're missing it, right? Keep up.
Yeah,
Don't
but
keep
I'm
up.
back now. I'm trying to spend more time here. I really like it here.
Nice. Do you have a favorite studio here in Austin?
Yeah. Well, I did. He moved it. I don't know if you know Rock Ali. He used to have a Montauk studio. Right now he's working at 7th Street Studios, I believe it is.
Okay.
That's what it's called.
Nice. Shout out 7th Street.
Him and Old Man Joe. So locally, yeah, that's the studio that I'm going to be hitting up probably in the next week.
Nice. Exciting. So do you make your own beats or do you like to rap over someone else's?
I do sometimes. But like I find that when I want to write a song, I'd rather not use my own beats just because like I feel like I can make better beats for other people, but trying to make my own anymore, I get stuck in one style. And I'd rather be inspired by a beat that is like hitting what I'm feeling exactly on the spot. Like I can go through beats and be like, that's where I get my best work made, you know? Like I feel like I can get the best out of picking the one that I'm exactly feeling. Not something that I'm just like, when I'm making my beat, I'm just feeling it, you know? But also like when an artist comes to me for a beat, like they tell me what they're looking for, or they give me some kind of piece. Like for example, well I can't say that because I can't give out the beat because I give it the sample, it gives it away. But anyways, you know, it inspires me to be like, oh, okay, you want me to sample that, or you want something that sounds like that, and it already triggers something in my head, and I know what I'm gonna do. Whereas to like doing my own stuff, I have to come up with like that part too. Yeah. And I just sometimes want to be an artist and just write the song, you know?
Yeah, I feel that.
So, you know, it's like, it's easier for me to just be an artist when I'm being an artist. But there'll be moments where I just feel like if I can't find the beat that I'm looking for, or the type, like the type of beat that I'm looking for, I'll just go and do it myself.
Yeah. Yeah, I can feel that. Yeah, because I totally see how you want to be like inspired and really like put the emotion into your music. Yeah, and rather like think about the lyrics than you criticizing yourself about this beat and like, damn, I should go back and switch this.
I work really fast though. Like that's been the other thing is like, so when it comes to like doing features with artists, when they ask me to do a song with them, I'm like, just send me the song. Like that's really all they gotta do. Just send the song. Because it's cool like to meet up in the studio and stuff like that, but I can write my part and do like record it and everything within like 15-20 minutes, you know. I like to finish a song like quickly and move on. Yeah. And sometimes it just ain't as fast, so like I just be like, just send me the track and I get it back to you like within like a half an hour if I'm at home. Like
right, because then you got to take that time out to get to the studio. Then people, if they want to drink, want to smoke, want to have this whole conversation and everything, so then you got to wait.
Let's get the record done first, and then we chill and smoke and do all that. You know?
Right, when the record's done,
exactly.
Mix and master, then we can party. So what's your vibe in the studio like? Do you like to be like straight alone because you like to work quick? How do you like to do it?
I just get focused on the work. Like you can't you could be in there doing whatever and it won't distract me. I'll be sitting at the chair, you know. And I guess that comes from like working in LA, because you'll have so many people trying to talk over each other behind you, you know, and the only person like who like it's me and the artist recording, or vice versa, like I'm recording and I'm always working, and you'll have all the people in the background having loud conversations and smoking and like laughing loud, and you know, I've gone through that for so long that I drown it out. So for me, my vibe when I'm working is I'm just so focused that nothing can break my focus. And it's like tunnel vision. That's the best way I can describe it.
Yeah, tunnel vision. Nice. You got to be focused. I feel that. So do you think that any Austin artist right now is on the way to blow up?
You know, I just got back recently, so I haven't had much time to go out there and see like, you know, who's who. I in the past year, like I did hit a couple shows up, and I was impressed by what I heard, but I didn't know too much who I was listening to. Yeah. You know, I was just kind of chilling and just kind of like scooping the scene or whatever. But I just kind of stayed back because I thought I was gonna be, you know, coming back more, but I am now, like I said. But yeah, I was impressed because I felt like everybody has stepped it up a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Nice. Yeah.
So now it takes a little
It's
bit
good to hear.
more. It takes a little bit more to stand out, because before it'd be like, all right, he's really good. He's really good. Or I'm sorry. It'd be like, there'd be one that really stands out.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other ones, like they got work to do.
Yeah.
People
Yes,
seem
there's
more polished now. So it takes a little bit more,
Nice. Yeah, that's good to hear. Shout out Austin for
Yeah,
for
they've
putting in
been
that
working
work.
on the quality, so.
Yeah, keep that grind. So apart from music and artistry, I know you're in the military also. How was that part of your journey?
It kind of shaped a lot of, what broke me back into being myself. It kind of broke me down for a while, where I was trying to figure that out.
Mm-hmm.
For a long time, I wanted to forget everything about being in the military, and talking about it in my music was actually what helped me get through it,
Mm-hmm.
So I think for a long time, I was in this group called Record One, and he wanted me, the guy who ran it, he was like, he knew I could really talk about my stories in my music, and I would do, whenever he would send me a song, I would, talk about my military experience, but I told him, like, personally on my albums, like, I don't want to do that. And then I got in this real hole for a couple of years where, I was really struggling with anxiety
Mm-hmm.
the most. And I ended up starting to talk about my experiences in the military, my music. And then it was kind of like, when you break your arm, you get a cast. And after a while, like, you realize your arm is healed,
Mm-hmm.
That's how it was for me. Like, I was talking about my experiences in my music, and then without even realizing it, all of a sudden I was healed, and I was back to making just fun music and making music that it wasn't even about my military experiences anymore, just enjoying making music, any kind of music. So
Yeah.
it ended up being, something that kind of, saved something that I was kind of worried that I didn't want to do anymore for a while.
Mm-hmm. That's beautiful though. Yeah, I love that for
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah, that's great. Sounds dope. You healed. I love that. Just like good vibes.
I mean, we healing every day. We
Big
healing every day,
facts.
but
And how long were you in the military?
3 years.
3 years.
I was injured in Iraq. I was out there I was supposed to be out there for 15 months, but on our 12th month, had a hand injury that they thought would never heal. And even if it did heal, it took, it was my hand right here, got stuck in the chain. All my skin came off. It was down to the bone. And the nerve damage they thought was going to be permanent nerve damage. But even if it wasn't, it takes a millimeter a month for your nerves to grow back. So, I mean, look at that.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to be able to shoot to be in a war, I wasn't going to be able to shoot a gun for at least a decade. So,
Yeah. Dang. Yeah.
so yeah, I mean, I got medically retired. So,
Yeah, but you're all good now. You got the good
That's how-
energy
that's-
around you for real.
that's actually how I learned to play the piano, was because they thought I would never get feeling in my hand again.
Mm-hmm.
And so the best way for therapy was to play a piano. So when your fingers touch the keys, you hear what you're touching, even if you can't feel it.
Yeah, so
And
it's like
I
a
end up
physical,
using that.
mental.
Yeah, I end up using that to learn how to produce. So
Yeah.
it's the gift in the
Yeah.
and the blessing in disguise.
Yep, exactly. Dang, yeah. That's great. You have a great story, for real.
Thank you.
So how do you feel about the Afghanistan and withdrawal going on right now?
That was all. That was shit, like
Yeah.
pure shit. Like you can't. It just basically everything and everybody that died out there for nothing, because
Yeah.
it's all gone. Like it was just not planned well. You can't just do that, and not like, I get it, because I don't, trust me, we've been in this shit too long. But the thing is, like, we've been warring for too long, but there's been no plan to kind of create stability without having a war. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So it's not about just, you can't just pull out the troops. It's about ending the war, but creating stability.
Yeah,
so
having a
that-
solution.
Exactly, not just endless war. And so it was done horribly, poorly,
Yeah. Do you think the government is doing enough for our vets? Or really for anyone in the military in general?
I mean, there has been improvements over the years, obviously from generations before us.
Mm-hmm.
And as veterans, like, we all try to do our job to make it better for the next generation. but it's always a constant fight. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of veterans and veteran organizations that push for things to continue to progress in the right direction, but it's always a fight against our government because they always want to take that shit away. I mean, Biden wanted to, he started talking about getting rid of like veteran disability, or yeah,
that doesn't make any sense. Like, how are you gonna have people serving for your country and then have things happen to them and not provide them with the security, the insurance, the way to heal up from this?
So I mean, it's always gonna be a constant fight. I do think at the end of the day that it'll progress. It'll continue to progress. And if it doesn't, then, we're kind of fucked.
Yeah, right. That's how we've been, though. I feel like it's just a lot, thankful for the things we do have, but there's just a lot of things that are just missing and lacking, especially with our government right now. It's corrupt.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I know that there's been, like, crazy stuff going on about the internet, about Kanye. Have you heard anything about that? Just, like, everything he's been saying.
Okay, so when I was like 23, I used to I wanted to sign to Kanye. Like that was my inspiration because he was a artist who, came through as a producer, but he knew what he wanted. He got through the door, you know what I'm saying? But they always told him like just stick to producing. And that's kind of what I went through as an engineer. I had my music that I was working on, and I was good as an engineer. So everybody was like, just stick to being an engineer. And so I always knew that what I wanted, you know what I'm saying? And I saw that through Kanye, the same thing. And I even went as far like to try to, I worked with his producer. I had a couple records that S1, he produced for me. And he produced like Power and a couple on Watch the Throne. So I try to work with the same people that he worked with.
To try and get that connection in there. Like maybe I'll see him in the studio real quick.
But lately, Kanye is an artist. I really, even on that song he got with Cardi B and who is it? Lil Durk and Cardi B and Kanye. Like he kind of has the weakest verse on that.
Dang. Yep.
I love Kanye, but I get it. Heartbreak can kill a man, and he's struggling with losing his family.
Yeah.
Like, it's tough. I know it's tough for me when I've gone through that. So, and he's doing that with everybody knowing his business.
Yep.
And on top of that, when a man's in self-defense mode, not just a man, but when anybody's in self-defense mode, like, you can make yourself crazy trying to defend yourself too much to where you just lose it, So
yeah, you're always paranoid and just thinking the worst.
Yeah, so I can't judge the man. I know he's human like we all are. So he's just under a microscope where everybody's gonna take anything he says, and he just doesn't know how to shut the fuck up and let them say it and shut, mind your own business and keep your money.
Yeah, just have a PR person like do it for you at that point. But yeah, old Kanye though. That was a different story for real though. Yeah. Man, I love the gospel shit though. It's good.
I do.
It's beautiful.
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a little, but I guess there's different versions of Kanye. So that's it where it is. So also we lost a young legend from Migos, Takeoff, I believe yesterday, the day before. What did you think about that?
I was just completely shocked. And then I came to the realization, it's like being a rapper in today's industry, when I was growing up, it was like there was, rappers that got murdered, but it wasn't like today. And so like when rappers got murdered, it was like very few. I mean, that's how we still have Snoop Dogg. That's how we still have Dr. Dre. Like we have a lot of the earlier rappers. If you look at the last, 10, 15 years, there's a lot of that percentage that is gone. So like in today's industry, it's not even like which rappers died, but it's like, when are they gonna die? You know what I'm saying? Because everybody is just, and it's anybody, it's not just, it's any rapper can get it. And it's just a crazy thing to happen so often. It's just, at this point, it's become,
it's like every day.
Yeah, it's just it's random. I mean, I looked at my phone and I seen people saying, you know, R.I.P. Takeoff. You know, and I was I was like I went and looked at TMZ right away, and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, like it's
You
real.
know,
Damn,
and
it's
the
on
video's
TMZ.
already up, and you go to like search it on Google, and it already, I think he just died like 2 hours ago, and it's already on his Wikipedia. His died November.
Yeah, they updated.
You know what I'm saying? Like
right.
they updated right away. They were prepared for that shit or something. Like
Yeah.
that's how it is in rap and hip hop.
Do you think being a rapper is a dangerous job?
I mean, yeah.
Why do you think it is? Like,
Because it's part of a culture that people want to take your spot.
mm-hmm.
And it's not even other rappers. It's just, I mean, think about it. Like, everybody wants your position.
mm-hmm. Everyone's jealous.
And how can you guard yourself from people? Like, okay, in that incident, like, obviously they were out in the streets and they were face to face with the person that, shot them shots. But still, think about it like this. It's just, you can't defend yourself against people you don't know. It's kind of like in Iraq, like, terrorists don't wear a certain color camouflage and come at you, or you're not like back in the day of the Civil Wars and the Napoleons, where you're just like marching to a beat of a drum towards each other.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see them coming. You know what I'm saying? They're not, the war's not fair. It's rigged one-sided because you can't even see it coming.
Facts.
So, and it can come from somebody, a lot of times it comes from people you don't even know.
Mm-hmm.
Look at PNB. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he was just eating. Like, that's
Exactly.
insane.
It comes from people you don't even know. So how can you defend yourself from that? And that's why I say anybody can get it. Like,
mm-hmm.
because that's what's been happening. It's random.
Yeah, it's crazy. R.I.P. Takeoff. Prayers to all the family, everyone affected, for real.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's a crazy time right now. Definitely, everyone just needs to do better. I feel like I don't think that if we change the music, it will get like so much better. But I definitely do think that people need to just like kind of stop gaslighting it and being like, yeah, I'll shoot you. Like, I don't know what song you heard, but it was like, I'll shoot you for some like, what was it, the Air Max 95, something like that. And I was like, what? I was like
Yeah.
just even if you're being serious about it, it's just kind of like you're enforcing that. Like, you're making it cool for these kids to be listening to this and be like, yeah.
I think like as men, when we were men growing up, I'm not gonna say that, because I feel like our generation had like a little bit more control, but at the same time maybe not. But I think like as men, we have to learn to teach our sons like what being a man is actually. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, being the toughest does not mean, being the most aggressive, being the most bravado-ish. Like, to me, that's a sign of weakness.
Facts.
Pulling out a gun and losing everything you have in your life for some senseless shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's weak. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
I'm only killing people over protecting my family. You know what I'm saying? Protecting my life, protecting the people I love.
Agreed.
But protecting my ego, that's some weak shit.
Facts. Yeah, you preaching right there, for real. Nice. Well, R.I.P. Takeoff, man. For real, for real. So, do you have anything coming up to end 2022? Any big things?
I'm deciding right now which project I want to drop, because I have a whole rap project ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
That I just got to figure out which tracks I'm gonna pick, and then I got a whole punk rock EP that I got ready to go, and I'm trying to decide which one's gonna be better to release right now, and which one will be better to release next year. And it really goes down to which videos I want to shoot first.
Okay.
So that's pretty much it. And then that's not on the music side, but on like just all together, I'm trying to get as many interviews before the end of the year, so that as soon as 2023 hits, I can already at least maybe release one in December, and then continue on. But I want to release one soon, and so I'm trying to get as many interviews as I can right now. And what I'm doing is like, I like doing these interviews somewhere where the artist is known to be from. Like, when I talked to Flip, yesterday or earlier today, I asked him like, if we could do the interview either in Cloverland, or excuse me, or
just fine, right?
or at the the screw shop. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And that was actually the first place where I met Flip was in Cloverland. He sent me this address. I thought we were going to do some work in the studio because he told me, bring all my stuff. So I show up at the address and I have all my backpack of like keyboards and computers and all this like recording shit, right? And I'm like, it's a neighborhood cul-de-sac with all these cars parked. I know what the hell. He pulls up in his fucking SUV Rolls Royce, and I was like, what's going on? And he's like, just follow me. So we follow him in. We come through this garage, and they hand him a mic as soon as he walks in. It's a performance.
Oh shit! What? That shit's crazy.
Yeah. So I was like,
damn.
Me and my co-producer, we looked at each other like we thought we were gonna be working that night. Like we were all like sweating. So he was like, yo, you guys gonna be in Houston tomorrow? And I was like, yeah. And I was like, we can be. He's like, all right, cool. I'll send you the address to my house and we'll get to work. And I was like, cool, because now we have a night to actually get some shit together for tomorrow. So we went back to the hotel, made some skeletons and some beats. And the next night we went to Flip's house and we went through like 40 beats. And every time we played a beat, he spent like 15 minutes just freestyling. And I was like, okay, but do you want the beat or not? Like, let's go to the next one.
And he's like, nah.
Yeah.
Another 15 minutes.
Yeah. So like, that's kind of my idea. Is like I like to, to me, it's about the art of it. The what is that? The meaning of everything. Like, and making some legendary interviews out of them.
Yeah.
Something that down the line. You look at these artists, these legendary artists, and it's a classic interview, and that's what I'm trying to create.
Nice. Yeah, because we really do go back and look at old interviews. Like,
yeah,
there's some crazy interviews. And like, I just like popped one in my head, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
But yeah, seeing some like, NWA videos for sure. Like, I'm like, wow, like this was such a prominent time in the hip hop timeline. Like, it's just so dope to look back on that.
Whether they passed away or even alive, like it's like a moment in time that's capsulated. And then you look at them today, whether they pass or they're just older, and you see how much has changed,
Yeah.
But you still capture their soul in that interview.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you
in
capture
that
their
moment.
whole. Yeah, exactly. In that moment.
Beautiful.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's so dope. So awesome. So where can the fans find you on Instagram, all the socials and YouTube, all that good stuff?
Everything is, Hollywood Cobain. Just how I spell Hollywood and Cobain. Yeah.
Love the vibe.
But in case y'all didn't know Cobain, it's Cobain. For some reason, everybody always like they're like dyslexic only when it comes to the A and the I, and they flip it, and that's like the word Cobain.
Oh, geez. Nah. Yeah. You're like, nah, sound it
out.
It's
like, no, Cobain.
At least, hey, there's Google, there's autocorrect.
It's the email, like when I send them my email, I started telling like, you got to just copy it and paste it because they'll put it in and for some reason they'll flip those two letters. I'm like, no, Cobain.
Let them know. All right. Well, it was awesome having you. It was dope having this conversation with you. Good vibes.
Yeah.
Well, we are tuning out. Thanks for tuning in for Pop Austin Media. You're here with TJ the DJ and Hollywood Cobain. Make sure y'all stay tuned. Thanks for tuning in to our latest interview. Make sure y'all check out the Pop Austin Media page, like, comment, and don't forget to subscribe. And we'll see you next time.